OP, do not send those pictures. The moment you do, you can kiss that money goodbye. You can kiss, not only can you kiss the money goodbye, you're gonna kiss your dignity goodbye. When they say, I'm gonna pay you by this date, that means on this day, you're not gonna get paid. Are you an evil monster, or are you just misunderstood? Today, I'm gonna be reacting to the Am I the Asshole subreddit. We're gonna go through some of these stories. Am I the asshole for using photographs without paying the photographer? If you were in a court of law, I wouldn't even hear the full story. You would be taken away and you would be telling the story to the fellow inmates in your prison cell. Okay, but let's hear the story. This is why we have to hear the full story before we run to conclusions like I just did. The other day while I was surfing, a photographer took pictures of me without asking me first. After surfing, she came to my friend and she asked us if we wanted to buy one of the pictures, and we told her no. She gave us her website just in case we wanted to buy a picture later. I almost laughed reading that. You took a picture of a stranger without asking for their permission, and then you want to charge them? You want to ask if they want to buy it? This is not looking good for the photographer. This turned around real quick, okay? That afternoon, I saw on her website a couple of pictures of me and my friend that I really liked, but I was not going to pay for a picture that was taken of me without permission. So I decided to crop it to remove the watermark. I can't. Oh my god, okay. And I uploaded it to my Instagram. It's not like it's fashion week and everyone is there to be photographed. It's just a person surfing. They were surfing. So I think in this context, doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. This morning, I've woken up with a message from her on Instagram telling me that I've stolen her pictures and that I should pay her. I've told her that she should stop being a creep and she should ask before taking pictures. After that, I've blocked her. Now she is crying about it on her Twitter. I know this because before blocking her, she was threatening me with exposing me on Twitter. Am I the asshole? You have to really be careful taking pictures of strangers. That's why I say you should always ask for consent before doing that. I love how he details how he cropped it out, removed the watermark, and then he uploaded it to his Instagram. He's like, I think everyone should see this wonderful photo of me that was taken without my permission. He told her that she should stop being a creep. That alone would have gotten me to quit photography. The pictures must have been good though, so the talent is there. But just the execution, you gotta work on a little bit, because they said that they really liked the pictures. You need to tweak the business model a little bit. It just seems like a lot of work to take random pictures of people and then hope that they're going to buy them after you put a watermark on them and just did all that. It just feels like a lot of work for no reason. Have people book sessions with you so that you know that they're okay with having their picture taken and you know you'll get money out of it. This is a reckless way of doing business, okay? And it's really risky because you don't know who you're gonna bump into, if they're gonna be upset that you took their photo. What if they don't want to be photographed? Who knows? Maybe they might sue you. You don't know what people are capable of. So you gotta be careful taking pictures of strangers. Some of the comments on this one. OP lives in Europe, not USA, because of that, not the asshole. For example, in Germany, you have a right over your own picture. No one can just take a picture of you if you don't want to, and they can't upload it to their website and try to sell it if it's an image of you, even if they did the work and took the picture. In different countries, there are different laws about taking photos in public. Some countries don't allow it. You can't just go taking pictures of strangers without their permission. Even with the law aside, she is not the asshole. She was used as model for something she was not asked about nor compensated. It is a fair game that she used the photo herself. OP, ask her to pay you the same amount for modeling as she is asking you to pay for the photos. She kind of was a model for a photo shoot she didn't even know was happening. In America, I think it's like the Wild West. The people just do whatever they want. They take pictures of whatever they want. Paparazzi, everything. It's pretty crazy here. Even in the USA, I'd say not the asshole. Just because it's legal doesn't make it morally right. There is a moral versus legal aspect to this. Seems like a pretty useless watermark if you can crop it out and still use the pic. You can have 17 watermarks on there. It's getting stolen. No matter what. Where there's a will, there's a way. Kind of a compliment because they liked the photo enough to do all that. So it's good work at the end of the day. The photographer should be proud and still annoyed at the same time. Am I the asshole for refusing to send wedding photos until payment is made in full? I, 24 female, did a last-minute favor for a friend of mine for his mom's wedding. Little bit of backstory for you. I love doing photography. I always have, and I always will. While I was out with my friends, I was unexpectedly called by my brother-in-law. I don't usually get a call from him, so when I saw he was calling, I answered and asked if everything was okay. He had explained the situation about the previous photographer dropping out last minute at 6 p.m. on the night before the wedding. and asked me to help, and I would be paid by a certain date. I agreed and traveled 4 hours with my camera and laptop up to this wedding venue to take photos for the bride and groom. So far, this already sounds like a disaster. Why did the photographer drop out last minute? Photographers don't do that for weddings. We have contracts, we have obligations, we have deposits. We don't do stuff like that unless it's something very serious. If my brother-in-law is calling me for anything other than just asking how my Animal Crossing island is doing, I wouldn't answer, personally. He asked to help and I would be paid by a certain date. I already know you're not getting paid. Just from this one sentence, I know the deposit is not coming through ever. That's never gonna happen. And you know why I know? Because this happened to me. When they say, I'm gonna pay you by this date, that means on this day, you're not gonna get paid. I just translated it for you to make it easier. Until today, I found out I'm not being paid till much later in the month, if not next month. So I sat and had thought about and come to the conclusion that I wouldn't send any photos. I then explained this to my friend and he was unaware of a date being set for payment and only the amount until I'd showed him the part of the conversation we had between each other. So now I've been called an asshole for refusing to send any photos over until payment has been made in full by the given date, but everyone's already been using my photos quite happily for profile pictures and cover photos from the few I had already sent over. Not to mention, I'd already been hounded by people for said photos as they needed them ASAP. I feel the whole situation is about to put a divide between me and my friend when I don't want it to, but am I the asshole for refusing to send any more photos until payment has been made, or am I overreacting? That's the smartest thing you've done from this whole situation. That's the one thing I'm happy to read, that you withheld the photos, at least the rest of them, because that's the only leverage you have at this point. That's the only way you're going to be guaranteed even a little bit of payment. Otherwise, you would have nothing. You would have given it all away. And people make you feel guilty for having boundaries and for standing up for yourself. And this is one of those things. Of course, they're not going to be happy about it because they're expecting you to give them everything for nothing. They're not going to give you any. They're not wanting to pay you. If people are saying they need the photos ASAP, tell them I need my money ASAP. Tell them the payment needs to come through ASAP. People want the photos right away. They want everything as soon as possible, but they take their sweet time with giving you payment. Notice how the OP writes, I feel like the whole situation is gonna put a divide between me and my friend. That's the exact reason why I don't work with friends or family with photography. And I've gotten into so many arguments about this. I've had my family members have been mad at me for this. They don't really understand fully, but I do. And I'm trying to save the relationship here. She traveled 4 hours with not only her camera, that probably weighs as much as a dinosaur, but her laptop. Do you know how much it takes for a photographer to bring their laptop with them?
I mean, you knew I wasn't gonna pay you, right? I never planned on. I told you I'm gonna pay you at a later date. You should have known, please. I appreciate it though. The pictures were amazing. I'm using it as my profile picture right now. The wedding picture that you took. I get a lot of compliments on that. Would you believe it? Beautiful photography. Really, you should charge a little more.
Let's read the comments for this one. No, the photographer dropped out after she couldn't get insurance on all her equipment, but had months to get the insurance, hence why I was called last minute. I've only got a camera and 2 lenses. I don't need all that fancy stuff to take a photo, but it annoyed me as they have a contract drawn up that she signed with half the money up front, whereas I've not received anything as of yet. So they paid the photographer that they originally got the full, like the deposit amount, but they never paid the friend that they had show up last minute and inconvenienced to do their wedding as a favor. Oh my God. They're going to leave you high and dry if you send those photos. You'll never see that money. Send little thumbnails that can't be enlarged. Only send regular photos after full payment. OP, do not send those pictures. The moment you do, you can kiss that money goodbye. You can kiss, not only can you kiss the money goodbye, you're going to kiss your dignity goodbye. So they are capable of sending the payment, just not to you. I think that's worse, don't you? If you're a photographer and your family members call you the day before a wedding or any kind of big event, hide. I don't care where, just don't even be nowhere to be found until the event. Just show up with no camera. Put your phone on do not disturb. Take out your SIM card. Don't charge the battery. Come with a Nokia flip phone. Whatever you gotta do. Bring nothing but yourself and make sure to eat. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister ask my wedding photographer for a pregnancy photo shoot on the same day as my wedding? What did I just read? My sister, that is the maid of honor, recently asked me if she can borrow my wedding photographer for her pregnancy photo shoot. That would be right before my wedding after she has her hair and makeup done by the professional paid by me. She would pay for the photo shoot, but am I the asshole for not wanting her to have the pictures in the same style, on the same place, on the same day, and with the same makeup and hair as my wedding pictures? I feel incredibly selfish when I think about it. If my sister asked on my wedding day if she can do her photo shoot, I would say don't even come. Someone's wedding day shouldn't be an opportunity for a family member or friend to like milk the opportunity for like photo shoots and to do their own thing. It's about the bride and the groom celebrating them. Weddings are very chaotic and very unexpected, and they go really fast. So when are you going to have time? So you're essentially going to take away time from your sister to do your own photo shoot on her wedding day with her wedding photographer that she pre-planned and pre-booked for. That's a no. Would there even be time? Usually the photographer is taking pictures even as people start to get ready. Has the sister even asked the photographer if they would be okay with this in the first place? Because I don't think they would. Wedding photographers have limited time to capture photos as it is during a wedding day. So the fact that she's asking the bride, acting like the photographer would just be okay with it, you would be surprised. Not the asshole. There won't be time. But talk to the photographer directly so they can be ready with a no. But why don't we arrange another date when I'll be in position to do the photos because I'm already fully working that day with the wedding. I've done this before where I will literally tell the bride, hey, you can blame it on me. Just say the photographer doesn't have time. So if someone, like a family member says to the bride, oh, can we do these pictures? Instead of the bride being responsible and saying, no, we can't. I will tell the bride, it's okay, just tell them I said no, just so that they're not mad at her. They can be mad at me because they don't know me. So I usually will just take the fall for that because it is true. And also, it's okay if they're mad at me. Like I said, I don't know them. They don't know me. After the wedding, they'll probably never see me again. But for my client, she will probably have to deal with that. It's splitting the photographer's priorities. He no longer needs to focus on only the wedding photos, which we all know is no small effort. He needs to take extra pictures. Will the reception start later, or will the photographer not be there because he's still doing the pregnancy photo shoot? How long will that take? Who decides that? Etc., etc. A good example I heard, if you were on trial for murder, do you want your attorney focusing on the witness statements and the judge orders, or do you want them working on a divorce settlement? Sure, they may not charge you for the time they are working on the divorce, but they need to be focused on the trial in front of them. That's a good way to describe it, a murder trial. Because as photographers, we're fighting for our life here. So what did you guys think? Not the asshole? Are they the asshole? Leave it in the comments, and don't work for friends or family. Okay, how many times do I have to say that? I'm just going to keep saying it because I'm still reading about it.